But Esmond here for Winners and Whiners. And when it comes to the USFL so far, expect the unexpected. I don't know, man. I think it's a little weird that Fox owns the league and Fox pushes Fox Bet so heavily during these games. If you think about it, the bookmaker owns the league. Yeah, I don't know. I hate to be a conspiracy theorist, but there have been some very, very strange outcomes in the USFL last season that they played and this season. There have been some really, really odd calls. There's not the transparency that there is in the XFL. I'm staying with it for now and still picking games, but when you have things happen like this, the Memphis Showboats, stupid name, are awful the first 3 weeks of the season. Clearly the worst team in the league. And they go on and they beat the Michigan Panthers, who are not a bad team at all, 29-10. I mean, it wasn't close. That's one of the largest margins of victory of the season. And then it just so happens in another game that the line is -2.5 or +2.5, depending on which side you had. And guess what? Last second field goal when the team could have kept driving for a touchdown. And if you had the side of that game that I had, the Generals +2.5 against the Breakers, you went down in flames. And I thought that was the smart bet on that game, not a doubt. So I'm a little gun shy right now. Now, the Memphis Showboats now go play the best team in the league by far in the Breakers. The Breakers, I think right now, have the MVP of the league. That would be the man with the 3 names, McLeod Bethel Thompson. He completed over 70% of his throws for 279 yards. And he completed 3 passes on the Breakers' game-winning drive to beat the Generals. And the Generals entered this game atop the North Division, 2-1. So, the Breakers get the win. They end up going on 4-0. And again, I took a bad beat in that game as the final comes down to a field goal, and I had the Generals at +2.5. Now, you've got the worst team in the league now coming off a big win. 29-10, they beat who did they beat last week? Now it's going to escape me. 29-10, the Showboats beat the Michigan Panthers, who I think are a pretty good team. Great defense anyway, usually. This game is only 7.5 points. Man, if this game were played week 4 instead of week 3, this line would be 10, 11, 12. I think a lot of people are putting a lot of stock, at least the bookmakers, in the win by the Showboats last week, 29-10. If you're going to expect the unexpected, the Showboats beat the Breakers. Just saying. Logic tells me the Breakers should beat the brakes off the Showboats. For what it's worth. That's my pick. I'm going to go logic and not get into the conspiracy theory. This conspiracy theory would say that the Showboats are somehow going to win and cover against the Breakers, the best team in the league. I'm not buying it. I'm going to say the Breakers are going to easily beat the Showboats, and that last week was an anomaly. All right, there's my pick. Loud Esmond making you a better at Winners and Whiners.